Tomorrow I'm going to be heading to Headingley Sports Shop, just outside of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, to pick up a KLR 650 camo motorcycle. 2017. It is now March, almost April 2018, but it'll be a 2017 brand new KLR with 1 kilometer on it, which is cool. So it's completely brand new. A little nervous to pick it up. Now I've been wanting this video. I've been wanting this motorcycle, believe it or not, for pretty much as long as it's been in production, which is 30 years. I'm not that young, by the way, as you can see. The design of the KLR, some people say, is very dated, and especially the dash, what's lacking on the dash, like fuel gauge, gear shift gauge, and just digital accoutrements. That's French. Another thing that people have said they didn't like about KLR is the sound of it, so I'm not expecting anything musical coming out of the exhaust pipe. That's no big deal. Oh yeah, and I've seen some reviews where a guy gets on a KLR and he'll like crank it up to 90 miles an hour, which is here in Canada 150 kilometers per hour. Now, I don't know about you, but I do not drive anything at 150 kilometers if I want to continue driving and own a license. Okay? The KLR is not made for that. It's made pretty much to get you where you're going, and if your destination is off-road, then you can keep going. Now, the only problem that I'm facing at this moment, let me tell you, man, it's cold. We're talking long johns and thermal undershirt on, just to get to my car. So it's cold, and I thought winter was over because we had a hot spell. And as it turns out, next week is potentially springish weather. But right now, there's still snow on the ground. I'll show you. I don't know if you can see that. Now the snowmobilers, of course, are not happy. This is the end of their season. Alas, I am not a snowmobiler, so too bad. But the KLR, yeah, man. I've wanted that thing for pretty much 30 years, since they first started making it. I always thought it was big, cool, tough, and oh yeah, the one I'm getting is camo. Now, camo is cool, the color. It's just so different. It's so different that people might not want it, which makes it an even more unique bike. And I like that. I like that a lot. With all this frost, here, let me show you the field over here. I'm in Manitoba, and that is ice still in the ditch, in case you're wondering, and snow on the fields. Anybody who's into the flat earth theory, you come out here to the plains and you don't have to be told twice. Another thing that they always talk about with the KLR is that it's got 5 gears, not 6. And when you crank her up to, 90 miles an hour, 150K, you always wish you had that 6th gear. But I'm telling you right now, the vehicle I'm driving is a Toyota Yaris, 1.5 liter, 5-speed. And if any vehicle could use a 6th gear, it's a Yaris, okay? So I'm used to it. I'm used to those high revs. Say, man, I like to just drop them down a little bit. Well, okay, here I am, Lorenzo. I just went to the dealership to pick up my motorcycle, my KLR 650. Today's the next day. I'm all suited up for winter driving. Payments made, went and got my plate and insurance. First place was closed because it's Easter weekend, which sucks. But I had a backup place, so I had to do a little bit of driving, and I got my, I went to the insurance, it's called the Auto Pack out here. So I got my plate, got my insurance, joked with the ladies who were working there. We had a good time, like the experience was great. I left there smiling, everything was fantastic. My beast is about to be mine. Went to Headingley Sports Shop, got them to put the plate on, went in the back room, saw all the nice bikes. Should have brought the camera, it was in the car, sorry. And threw the choke on, started her up, very nice, very nice. Take the choke off, won't start. Okay, stalled. So, okay, it needs to warm up a little longer. It's a new vehicle and everything, right? So we push it out to my car, and I'm getting suited up for my mega drive with my helmets, which is this one. And because it's winter, I had this for underneath it. There's plenty of room. It's all suited up, got on the bike, turned the choke off, engine stalls, and it's warm. There is a temperature gauge on a KLR, which was showing mid-range, ready to go. Take the choke off, stalled. So started up again with the choke quite a few times with the choke, and give it a bit of gas, stall. So I'm like, come on, man. I was already feeling weird about this. It's that nervousness feeling. It might have been premonition of something, and I got the insurance, I paid off the vehicle, and I couldn't get it out of the parking lot. Like, that really pissed me off, you know? That I don't have my motorcycle, and I've got a ride planned to come and pick up my car, because I live an hour away from the place and everything, and the end result is I don't have my motorcycle. So we rolled my brand new KLR, brand new, back into the Headingley Sports Shop, and I am now leaving. I'm on my way back home in my Toyota Yaris with no KLR on Easter weekend, so I can't pick it up tomorrow. It's Sunday. Monday, I'm assuming they're open, but Easter Monday, I don't know what the deal is with that. Maybe this is minor. I'm sure in the long run this is minor. It's probably something with the E-old carburetor that KLRs still have. Anybody with a fuel injection motorcycle will be going, well, you should have fuel injection, dude. And I'm hard pressed to argue that point right now. I don't know. I just went to Wendy's and had some fast food to just, you know, chill out a little bit. And man, I was so pumped to drive this thing home today. Well, I have to tell you, it's a pain in the ass. So this is part 2. I was super excited. Everything's paid off. The plate's on the vehicle. And the vehicle is not... I am not on the vehicle. So now, does this say anything about the dealership? That, like, what are you doing? You're selling a new vehicle that doesn't start? You don't even start it before the guy picks it up? I don't know. I'm not making a big stink about that. But no KLR 650 for Lorenzo today. And this is what it looks like outside. As you can see, there's still snow on the ground. Today is April 2nd. I just got home from work. Got a call from Headingley Sports Shop. My vehicle, my KLR 650, is finished, fixed, and ready to go. And that he was able to start it with the choke off and give it throttle. He said he drove it around the shop a little bit, and it didn't stall or anything. So when I inquired what the problem was, his answer was a small idler screw on the side of the car, which I guess is possible. Paranoia would say no, there's something else that you fixed, but an idler screw on the side makes sense. So the bike is ready for pickup. This morning was minus 20-ish, so it's still winter right now. The end result is I'm going to wait until next Saturday to pick up the KLR 650 Camo, which is now ready. Technically it should have been ready, but it's not ready. I'm not holding a grudge, I'm not filled with rage, I'm not super angry anymore. I was a little miffed on Saturday, I have to admit. I was a little pissed off. For obvious reasons. Well, here I am a few days later. Did I finally take possession of my KLR? Most assuredly. Am I happy with my purchase? Indeed I am. I'll tell you what I noticed. Vibration and wind noise at highway speed? Yes. That's something you'll have to expect with a bike like this. The first thing you'll have to adapt to is the tricky balance. A single cylinder with a 22-liter gas tank above it makes the bike a little top-heavy. The bike is big and very comfortable. The freezing air, while I was driving in minus 4 Celsius weather, but the freezing air washing over your knees disappears by sliding back on your seat and squeezing your knees together in a knock-knee fashion. It makes a lot of difference, and there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of positioning available for you on that seat, so you can find a really nice position, and then you can switch to another one later, up close to the tank or slide her on back. It's very nice. Now, right after I picked up the bike, got it started, pulled out from Headingley Sports Shop, and right down the street I promptly ran out of gas, which is another pain in the butt. He reluctantly gave me 10 liters of gasoline, which I decided not to offer to pay for because of the inconvenience. The least you could have done is given me a full tank of gas, but maybe that's not what dealerships do these days anymore. But a small thing like that would go a long way to making customer service 100% instead of 60%, maybe even less. Now, if you are like me and you were out driving in freezing conditions, you're probably going to want to put a little cardboard up in front of the rad. You can ram it right up in there smoothly, and that'll prevent it from running cold, which is what it was doing. Left to its own devices. While it's idling outside, it'll warm up, no problem. But the minute you start moving in cold air, then you got a problem with heat. First time I put the bike down, right here. Icy and deep. But the bike started in like no time flat.
stay.